Alright, Shalom. Shalom. This is your brother Issachar coming back at you with another lesson. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises, all honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Wakak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect and the 144,000 scattered across the four corners of the earth. Shalom to you. Alright, in today's lesson, we're going to go into have any trusted in the Lord and was confounded. So without further ado, let's get it. The book of Sirach, or if you don't have Sirach, it's Ecclesiasticus. Ecclesiasticus chapter 2, verse 1 through 18. We'll read that whole chapter. Ecclesiasticus chapter 2, verse 1 through 18. My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, prepare thy soul for temptation. That means test. Oh yeah. Set thy heart aright, your mind, and constantly endure. Constantly. It's not just, oh, hey, I believe in the Lord, it's all good now, guys. No, it ain't. It ain't all peaches and cream. Because a lot of you out there think that, shit is sweet. Excuse my Italian, but it's not, The Lord says that you have to bear that cross. Can you, he said, you want to walk with me? You're going to have to drink that cup. He said, are you surely going to drink it? To remember, because we serve the only begotten of the Most High. So it ain't no light thing. Just remember like how you police officers, you got tests. Firefighters, you guys have tests. Those of you that graduate college, you guys have tests, to get your master's degree, your doctors, whatever, you have, those of you in the military, whatever, SWAT, you got tests, you got to pass those tests. Right, so can you imagine being a frontliner for the Lord? One of the hopeful elect of the 144? Some of his members have to actually die first. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine some of the Lord's tests are so hard that some of his servants had to actually die first? Like, you have to die first. What did Yahweh Shai have to do? Who the world inwardly calls Jesus Christ. He had to literally die first. He had to sacrifice his life. Imagine how hard that test is. Like, okay, hey, I want to get into this group. Just imagine, think about it for a second. Imagine, like, okay, hey, I want to join this team. Okay, there's, and then some of the men of the Lord said, hey, there's some tests. Well, what's some tests? Well, you might have to die first. Imagine that the Lord's tests are so hard, because like you Satanists on the left-hand side, you guys are weak, because you guys sacrifice babies, you guys sacrifice people, like family members, stuff like that, right? Yeah, you know what it is. Don't start, don't start. Okay, the Lord sees you. All right, so but see, you're sacrificing somebody else. Imagine like you have to lay your own life down. So that's what the 144 is about. Just like the Lord, he had to sacrifice his own life first. Because come on, like the left-hand side, they sacrifice babies. They'll sacrifice their own family members, right? Oh, absolutely. Just like look at Kanye. Kanye sacrificed his mom, to get that fame. And now look at, he lost everything overnight. It's to show you, you wanna dance with Satan, it's not true riches, because you get the fame and you get the lust, the women, the money, the mansions, but it could all be gone overnight, because that's not true riches. It's not true wealth. It's vanity. It's vain. See? So the 144,000, some of them actually, because there are going to be some martyrs, they have to actually lose their life first. Imagine. So imagine how hard their test is. They have to fight like top-ranking demons. They have to be humiliated. Really go through true test. Oh yeah. Can you imagine that? Like, hey, hey, I want to join this team. Like, oh, okay, cool. Like, you have to pass the test first. Like, okay, well, what's the test? Like, hey, do I have to, run 20 miles? You know, do I have to do like 300 push-ups? What's the test? Oh, some of you have to actually die first. Like, what? Yeah, the Lord had to do it. Remember, and he didn't want to do it because it's that. 'Cause remember, the Lord told our Lord Yahweh told Yahweh 3 times. Can there be another way? But the Lord didn't even respond to him. Facts. The night before the band of soldiers, before Judas Iscariot delivered him, he was sweating blood because that's how nervous he was. And our Lord's very strong, but just imagine, because he knew that he was gonna be beaten, tortured. Facts. So can you imagine how nervous he was? Imagine knowing it, and then you have to lay it down willingly, and he had the power. He had the spiritual power. So imagine you have the spiritual power, and you still just let people just torture you willingly. Yeah. Huh? Ecclesiasticus chapter 2 verse 2. Set thy heart aright, meaning your mind, because your heart is just a muscle that pumps blood. So that heart means lab, meaning your mind, and constantly endure, constantly. Okay, it's not just all right. Hey, you believe in the Lord, it's gonna be, you're gonna go through, how a week for 1 or 2 weeks. No, it's every day, all day, and to make not haste in time of trouble. So yeah, when you go through it, don't complain. Man up, cleave unto Him, and depart not away, that thou mayst be increased at the last end. Because the Lord is building you up. Is beating you down to build you up. Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully. So the Lord says, I'm going to beat you down. I'm going to drag you through the mud. And don't complain. So the Lord says, I have to beat you down to build you back up. And be patient when thou art changed to a low state. Yeah, so when you go through your trials, like the Lord might have you, like your car break down. He might even take your children from you, He might even take your wife from you, your husband. Yeah, that's what the Lord did to Job, Facts. Because the Lord, he's you can't fake the Lord. The Lord knows, okay, like truly, like, all right, what do you care about, And He's gonna take that from you, just to see, like, man, are you still gonna trust in Him, or are you just gonna curse Him out and say, no, this is it's too much, Ecclesiasticus 2:4. Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a low state. For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. Yeah, because if words don't teach you, adversity will. So just like, these jewelers, they, refine gold and silver. How? By putting in that fire. Not too long, but just enough. So that's why the Lord is putting you through hell, but not to destroy you, but to build you up, make you better. Because He's building up your inner man. Verse 6. Believe in Him, and He will help thee. See, so He's going to help you. Stop complaining. Just make the adjustments and trust in Him. Stop trying to figure out on your own, because you think, oh, I got this, Nah, because you're trying to come in some other way. Imagine like there's like a family get-together, like a family barbecue or party, family reunion, so to speak. And everybody, got to come in through, the front door. All right. And let's say, somebody, that you don't know comes in through one of the bedroom windows, like, hey, like, what's up with this dude, See, because you're trying to come in some other way. This is the Lord's house. See, because you're not going through the gate. You're trying to have one foot in the world and then trying to serve the Lord at the same time. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work, baby. So just like that family reunion, everyone comes into the front door. Family welcomes you and all that. Say hi. And let's just say you have somebody that just comes in through one of your bedroom's windows. Like, everyone's gonna look at him like, what's up with this dude? Like, this dude's coming in through the window. Like, what's up with this dude? Like, what? He got something to hide. Because why would someone come in through the window unless they're like, playing a joke or something, But why would someone come in through the through the window? Why wouldn't someone come through the front door? That's suspect. See, that's you clowns like Nate from IUIC. That dude Sakari, because you're trying to come in some other way, and the Lord's gonna spill you out because you're playing around. You're trying to come in through the bedroom window. You gotta come in through the front door. Just like everybody else. But you clowns that are messing around, you're trying to come in through the bedroom. You're trying to come in through the bedroom window. Like, oh, it's all right, it's all good, because the Lord's dealing with me. I can do what I want. The Lord is gonna cast you out. The Lord's gonna say, bind them hand and foot, cast them at outer darkness, and there shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. Believe me this. And the Lord's not playing. You think you're gonna play with the Lord? You're talking about the Lord here. The Creator. Look how big the ocean is, and you're over here like, oh, I'm gonna play with the Lord. I'm gonna do what I want. The Lord got my back. He'll understand. Shit, you're crazy, man. Crazy, man. Crazy, man. That's crazy talk. Ecclesiasticus. Imagine. Ecclesiasticus. Ecclesiasticus chapter 2 verse 7. Ye that fear the Lord, wait for his mercy, and go not aside lest he fall. So yeah, don't veer to the side. Don't try to go some other way. Trust in the Lord. Ye that fear the Lord, believe in him, and your reward shall not fail. Right. See, because just like the title lesson, have any trusted in the Lord and was not confounded, because the Lord's going to help those of you that believe and trust in him, the hopeful elect. Verse 9, we're going to go down to the 18th verse. Ye that fear the Lord, hope for good, and for everlasting joy and mercy. Here we go. Here's the point here. Ecclesiasticus 2 and 10. Look at the generations of old, and see did ever any trust in the Lord and was confounded? Trust in the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, or did any abide in his fear and was forsaken? Look at Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, Daniel in the lion's den. And these are real accounts, Look at all the Israelites that came out of the clutches of the Pharaoh. See? Whom did he ever despise that called upon him? See, because if you're really trying, you think the Lord's just gonna be like, nah, Nah, if you're really being sincere, the Lord's gonna work with you, But you gotta come correct. You gotta humble your simple self down, and you just gotta be truthful. It's not like you gotta be all Superman and know everything and be the smartest and be the No, it's just you have to just be. You gotta come correct. You gotta be real. Not like this world. You can fool your boss, but you can't fool the Lord. He's the Creator. You think you're gonna fool him? So you're crazy, man. Fool the Lord. For the Lord is full of compassion and mercy, long suffering. See, because long suffering this thing. Because you Christians and Catholics, it's all about promotions. No, it ain't. Because we're not in our kingdom. We're still slaves right now, underneath the elites, the international bankers. See that? I mean, yeah, there's some people, some of our people who do good, they have their own business and stuff like that. That's not bad, I mean, you're doing good for yourself. You're independent, but if you really serve the Lord, like for real, you're gonna, go through trials, and very pitiful, and forgive his sins, and save it in time of affliction. So in time of your trouble, the Lord's gonna save you. Woe, verse 12, woe be to the fearful hearts and faint hands. Yeah, those of you that doubt the Lord, that say, oh, I don't know. Well, the Lord's going to look at you like, well, I don't know either then, sucker. Because if you're doubting the Lord, that means you're ashamed of him. You don't trust in him, See, because you got to have that attitude like, you know what, although I'm not doing that well right now, you got to have that attitude, well, I'm still going to serve the Lord no matter what, I don't care if I'm even the doorman at, my Lord's house, I'm gonna follow him and trust in him no matter what. It don't matter my rank, I just believe in him and hope that, I'm part of one of the hopeful elect, just like me. Even if I'm the last member, hey, I want to be part of the Lord's team. Even if I'm the water boy, I don't give a damn. I just want to be part of the Lord's team. I don't care like, oh, I want to be, I don't care, that's why those of you that, you doubt and you say, oh, well, I don't know if, I don't know about the Lord. Well, the Lord's going to look at you like, well, I don't know about you too. Stay away. I don't know about you either. See? Because, like, do you trust or not? It's a yes or no. remember, that's like the scriptures say, let your yea be nay and your nay be nay. Everything else is no good. See, because like, do you trust in him? Yes or no? It's not just, oh, it's complicated. Not bullshit. What is it? What is it? Is it yes or no? Not no just, nah. It's a yes or no. Ecclesiasticus chapter 2 verse 12. Woe be to the fearful hearts and faint hands, and the sinner that goeth 2 ways. See, because you're trying to have 1 foot in, 1 foot out. You're straddling the fence. The Lord's going to spill you out. Woe unto him, because you're being lukewarm. Woe unto him that is faint-hearted. See, so those of you that doubt, the Lord's not looking for that. He's looking for soldiers, especially right now. Nah, because, and then too, the Lord's not going to have you. Those of you too that are just playing around, he's not gonna have you around like the true brothers, because you'll affect like the team. Like let's say at war, let's say you're about to go to war, remember that movie Gladiator when they're about to go out to fight right there in the Coliseum, and that one dude was in the front, but he was pissing himself. He was going to pee on himself. Remember when those gates opened, when those gladiators had to fight, he was the first one put to death. But that's how it is, because if you're really scared, if you really don't believe, you'll affect the rest of the soldiers, the rest of the team, So that's why even the Lord, he'll even have some of his own servants put you down, like, hey, put this dude to death, because we don't need him, because you'll affect the rest of the team, and then the other team members are gonna look at you like, what's up with this dude, like we're about to go to war with our enemies, and you're over here, just, oh, I don't know. Like, we don't got time to babysit and say, hey, what's up? What's your deal? It's either, hey, are you ready or not? If not, stay home. Or if not, even the men of the Lord, when the Lord gets here, are going to put you weak simpletons to death. In fact, the Lord said, hey, put that clown to death. Because you'll affect the rest of the soldiers. You'll affect the rest of the team. It's that important. So that's why the Lord said, you know what? If you're weak right now, yeah, just stay home. Don't even come to the battlefield. Because you're just going to make the Akim and the Lord upset. Because the Akim are out there on the front lines, and you got our enemies really surrounded us, ready to kill us, and you got a soldier like, oh, I don't know, like, hey, what's up with this dude, like, we don't got time for that. So that's why the Lord said, if you're scared, just stay home. Don't worry about it. Take care of the children, stay home for reals, because it's real, you're talking about a takeover of the planet. This ain't no just little civil war. Okay, the Lord and 144,000 are literally gonna go grab those elites. You're talking about a takeover of the planet. So that's why the Lord has no time. He's like, hey, you're in or you're out. No excuses. Yes, you have your good and bad days. The Lord understands. We all do. But are you in it or you're not? That's why the Lord said, if not, just sit down, stay home. Because if you come out there to the battlefield and you're still acting silly, the Lord's gonna put you down, or the Lord's gonna have his man, like, you know what, slay this dude. Because you're like cancer. You'll affect the rest of the team. You will affect the soldiers. That's why the Lord says, keep this dude away. Because we don't got time for that crap. Especially right now, when everything's about to be shut down. Nah, there's no time for that. Ecclesiasticus chapter 2 verse 13. Woe unto him that is faint-hearted, for he believeth not. See that? Because you don't believe, because you're like, you're faint. That means you don't believe. Therefore shall he not be defended. See? And that's even worse. Because not only is the Lord going to say stay home, but he's not going to cover you when the UN troops surround you. When the left-hand side starts rolling, the Lord's going to say, go ahead and get them. So the angels are going to release that hedge off you. Do you want that? You're going to be totally devoured. See? And shall not be defended. So, yeah. So you're only doing it to yourself, Woe unto you that have lost patience. And what will ye do when the Lord shall visit you? Right. So when the Lord gets you, what are you going to tell him? Like, oh, well, what are you going to say? What are you going to say, mijo? What are you going to say, mijo? Because forget us, hey, because we're fighting too, We're in the trenches too. We're only trying to help each other. But if you don't help, you're only dragging us down, because, we keep looking back at you like, yo, what's up? What's good? What's this dude's deal? What's up? Is he in or out? Like, what's up? you're slowing down progress. You know, we're over here trying to, on the front lines, you know, trying to save the right, you know, trying to help the righteous, you know, and being on the front lines for the Lord, and we gotta worry about you. Like, okay, what's up with this dude again? And like, what's his deal? Like, what's going on? You know, we gotta keep looking back at you, and we gotta look at each other like, yo, what's up? You know, what the hell? You know, is this dude in or out? You know, like, you see? Because you'll frustrate the flock, you know, and then, you know, the other people are like, what's going on? You know, see, you're already spreading negative energy. So that's why the Lord says, you know what? The Lord will put you to death, or He'll even have His servants like, here's a sword, put that dude to death, because there's no time for that. Because you're like a cancer, you'll affect the rest of the soldiers, the team. That's why the Lord says, if you're scared, just stay home, you know, straight up. Ecclesiasticus 2:15. They that fear the Lord will not disobey His word, and they that love Him will keep His ways. Yeah, because the proof is in the pudding. You know, just, you know, all you gotta do is just examine someone, just kind of watch them for a while. Yeah, you know, we all still sin, but are they doing the works? You know, are they just talking? Because actions speak louder than words. They that fear the Lord will seek which is well pleasing unto Him. Yeah, because if you really care about the Lord, you know, you're gonna make the adjustments. Remember, you're gonna have slip-ups, but you're gonna care. Like, damn, you know, the Lord's gonna kill me, man. Like, I need to, you know, I gotta get right. You know, I gotta do this. You know, at least, you know, give charity. You know, link up with the bros, put up scriptures, do something. You know, anything. You know, I mean, come on. You know, because if you really fear the Lord, you're really gonna do something. You know, you're really gonna be like, oh shit, I gotta do anything. You know. You know, help the body, you know, donate money, you know, give out garments, you know, help the posters, the signs, even send brother scriptures, anything, you know, prayer, anything. I mean, but if you're not doing nothing, hey, you know, the light's just shining on you. It's like, hey, you're sticking out like a sore thumb. It's like, hey, it's obvious. You know, it's not like, you know, it's just like, hey, you know. And they that love Him shall be filled with the law. Verse 17, they that fear the Lord will prepare their hearts, being their minds, and humble their souls. See, humble yourself down. And His sight, saying, we will fall into the hands of the Lord, and not into the hands of men. For as His majesty is, so is His mercy. See that? Yeah, because, you know, the men of the Lord are really gonna be like, you know what? Well, I'm gonna serve the Lord as much as I can. And if the Lord don't deliver me, I'm still not selling out, you know? You know, I'm going to the wheels fall off. You know, but in righteousness, you know, not all, being, excuse my Italian, not being all stupid and silly, you know, like, yeah, you know, I don't give a damn, I'm down for whatever, you know? But no, but in righteousness, you know what I'm saying? Not just all, you know, I'm a gangster, you know? Just, you know, righteousness, you know, like, yeah, I'm gonna do forth and I'm gonna go all the way. But in righteousness, not all, like, out here just, you know, yeah, I don't give a fuck, you know? No, not like that, but in order, you know? Like, yeah, because I'm gonna go all the way with to serve the Lord. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Huh? Okay. Let's go to the three holy children. Alright, let's go to the three holy children and get that account. Let's get right here in the Apocrypha, the three holy children, chapter 1, verse 1 through 4. And they walked in the midst of the fire, praising the Most High Yahweh and blessing the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Then Azariah stood up and prayed on this manner, and opening his mouth in the midst of the fire, said, Blessed art thou, O Lord, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, power of our fathers, thy name is worthy. See, thy name, not the title. So it's not just, oh, I like to thank God. God just means power. But what's his name? Thy name is very important. Is worthy to be praised and glorified forevermore. For thou art righteous, and in all the things that thou hast done to us, yea, true are thy works. Thy ways are right, and all thy judgments truth. Because the Lord, He'll judge you according to your works. Remember, the Lord doesn't have emotional feelings like a mortal. He's a God. All right. So he's just, he's just gonna lay you down. So if you're messing up, and you're just like, you're not even trying or nothing like that, hey, the Lord's just gonna put you down, because the angels are recording you. See that? All right, so that right there was the account when Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego were thrown into the fiery furnace. When Nebuchadnezzar had that uh, that that image of gold, all right, that everyone had to bow down, and that's also, we can take that to today, because now these elites, they're pushing the left hand side, they're pushing for the New World Order, and what's going to be the same thing like that golden image? It's going to be that chip. Because if you don't take that chip, it's going to be the same thing. They already have the draconian laws, legislative and executive orders to put you down. Yep, because you'll be an enemy of the state, all that. Yeah, it'd be a capital offense. See? Daniel chapter 3, verse 15 through 30. So, I'm not going to read the whole thing here, but that's you can get that all in chapter 3 here. But I'm just going to get the major points. Daniel chapter 3, verse 15 down to the 30th verse. Now if ye be ready, at what time ye hear the sound of the cornet, flute, harp, sackbut, psaltery, and duck climber, and all kinds of music, ye shall fall down and worship the image which I have made. See? Well, but if ye worship not, just like the chip, just like these elites made, right? Which is the MOTV, your hour temptation, Revelation 3 verse 10. Ye shall be cast the same hour into the midst of the burning fiery furnace. So now what's the fiery furnace? Those guillotines. Because if you don't take that, they got guillotines. And they might even just shoot you on sight. Just right there, boom. Right between the eyebrows. And who is that power that shall deliver you out of my hands? Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Alright, and this is their name that they had, just kind of like right now we have government names, but then we have our Hebrew names. Same thing. So Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, that was like their government name of right there underneath Nebuchadnezzar. Okay, but their real names were Ananias, Azarias, and Mishael. All right, let's continue. Daniel chapter 3 verse 16. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego answered and said, the king, O Nebuchadnezzar, we are not careful to answer thee in this matter. If it be so, our power whom we serve is able to deliver us from the fiery furnace. See? So this is because I kind of skipped through the whole story here, but just to get through the point, remember Nebuchadnezzar made that, like a new order, a new law that, hey, he made a golden image, and everybody in that town, in that kingdom, when they hear, remember the flutes, the harps, the sackbut, when they hear that, they have to, bow down and worship that image that he made. And whoever didn't was going to be cast into the furnace. Just like today, these new the New World Order, the left-hand side, they're going to roll out with their New World Order. And whoever's not down with the NWO, and whoever's not going to take that chip in their hand, is going to go into concentration camps. They'll be tortured, slaughtered, shot on sight, or their heads will go in those guillotines. Remember, John the Revelator saw that as the Lord Yahweh B'Ashem Yahushai gave him a vision in Revelation chapter 20 verse 4, because he saw people's heads in those guillotines. Remember that, not worship the beast or his image. The New World Order, the image, the New World, the image is the New World Order. All right, the beast, the beast system. All right, remember the U.S., NATO, and the EU. Okay, that's like the beast system, because they're the main ones pushing for the NWO. Top leaders. And then the image is the NWO, and that mark is that chip. It's a physical mark. It's not just, it's sin, or no, it's a physical, it's a physical thing that is going to be inserted inside you. So right here, they already kind of, the guards or the soldiers, whoever, they found out that, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, they were the only ones. Like, no, I'm not bowing down to that, because we're going to worship our Lord. You know, because if they bow down to that image, that's idolatry. You know, so like, no, we can't do that because that's against our power. So right here, like, you know, they were even through processing, you know, or whatever. You know how it goes. Like say they got in trouble by the law, and the law says, hey man, these you know, hey, these niggas right here don't want to worship your image, Nebuchadnezzar. Nebuchadnezzar like, say what? Hey, bring them right here. So right here, they already brought them like before them, you know, like a king sits down. So right here, they're already right here. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, you know, they already got found out, you know, they already got processed, and now they're, you know, like, hey, bring them to the king, you know, the king wants, you know, has a little word for them, you know. So now they're right here, right before the king. So this is what's happening right now. Okay, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego are right here, right before Nebuchadnezzar the king. So Nebuchadnezzar is like, hey, what's this I hear? You know, you guys don't want to bow down to my image? And like, yo, what's good? You know, what's happening? You know, explain yourself. You know, speak. So Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego right here are breaking it down. Like, nah, like how, you know, like how with that image we serve Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. See. Let's continue. Daniel chapter 3, verse 17. If it be so, whom we serve, because right here, who's that mean? Whom we serve? Yahweh Bashim Yahushai is able to deliver us from the burning fiery furnace, and he will deliver us out of thy hand, O king. See that? Because Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, Ananias, Azarias, and Mishael, they told Nebuchadnezzar, you know, the hell with you, you know, Latuya. They told him, well, go ahead and throw us in the fiery furnace. Nebuchadnezzar said, look, listen, you three, you know. He probably said, you know, he's probably talking crap, you know. He probably said, hey, listen here, you know, three stooges. Who knows, you know, he's probably talking crap, you know, like, look at these peasants, you know. You know, that's just the way a king talk, like the way these elites speak about us. Like, look at these dudes, you know, people of insignificant, you know, like, who are these dudes, you know? They don't want to go along with the New World Order, you know? Bring me his head, you know? Like, what? Who is this dude, you know? Like, nah, like, what? Say what, you know? So, this is Nebuchadnezzar telling them, listen, if you don't want to, like, because Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego were telling him, look, we're not gonna bow down. He goes, oh, you're gonna bow down. Shadrach and Meshach and Abednego said, nah, we ain't gonna do it. So Nebuchadnezzar is already at this point saying, you know what? Well, I'm gonna throw you in that fiery furnace if you don't do it. You know, say no one more time. You know, and so Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego said no one more time, and he said, well, go ahead and throw us in the fiery furnace. You know, but our power can save us from if you throw us in there. See that? That's why, like, the men on the right-hand side are telling the left-hand side, run it. You know, you want to kill us? Go for it. But our power will deliver us out of your hands. Yep. That's why the men of the Lord are telling the left-hand side, same thing. These bankers saying, you want to surround us? You know, you want to kill us? Go for it. But our Lord will deliver us. Because that's how confident the men of the Lord are in Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. See? So basically what's happening is that Nebuchadnezzar is trying to tell Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, sell out, you know? And then they're like, no, we ain't going to sell out. And even if our power don't save us, we still ain't selling out. You know, we're going to the end, baby. Till the wheels fall off. Verse 18, we're going to go down to the 30th verse. But if not, be it known unto thee, O king, that we will not serve thy gods, nor worship the golden image. See, same thing. It's like the New World Order, but you can use that to today's terms. It's just that back then was the golden image, which thou hast set up. Then Nebuchadnezzar was full of fear, like, oh, hell no. What? Oh, you're not going to bow down then? Like, oh, all right, you know? Like, oh, okay, it's on. It's on like Donkey Kong. And the form of his visage was changed against Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Therefore he spake and commanded that they should heat the furnace 7 times more than it was wont to be heated. So he turned up the fire even more hotter 7 times. It just means 7 means a completion, so just a complete amount of time. So he turned it up like all the way up. Like, you know what? Turn it all the way up. How with these dudes, you know? Because he was mad. How you think that's how the left hand side is with us? Like, oh hell no, you know? They're talking about the chip, you know? They're talking about Yahushai. They're not selling out, you know? They're not bowing down to the left hand side. So that's why they're like, oh hell no, let's roll on them, you know? That's why the right hand side is saying, bring it on, baby, you know? Go for it, you know, you raspberry. And he commanded the most mighty men that were in his army. Check this out. This is very important. Daniel chapter 3 verse 20. And he commanded the most mighty men that were in his army to bind up Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, and to cast them into the burning fiery furnace. So why did he command the most mighty men? See, how come he didn't get just regular soldiers? Because he knew that, because everything that they were saying, he considered it, because he was still mad, like, damn, I'm still going to take you down, but damn, I have to send my elite teams after him. Just like the left-hand side, because when the left-hand side actually tries to take out the right-hand side, they're not going to send, like, just regular, like your regular teams. He has to send the elite teams. He has to put the elite witches on them, elite warlocks. Facts. He has to put the top teams on them. Because why? Because everything that the man of the Lord is saying, that they serve the Lord and all that. So yeah, he hears it and he laughs, but at the same time he considers it like, well, damn, well, what if it does happen? I gotta send my best soldiers, because these elites, they see the ships and they see the signs. So once they actually roll for the men of the Lord, they're not gonna send like just, like your Boy Scouts, they're gonna send the top teams, like your top assassins, facts. Yeah, so same thing here. So why didn't he have like, oh, you know what? He was so mad, just, hey, you two soldiers, throw him in the fiery furnace. No, because he was scared at the same time, because he was like, all right, I'm going to throw you in there, but you know what? Let me get my best men, because my mightiest soldiers to get Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Why? Because imagine, everybody bowed down except those three guys, and was cursing out the king to his face, like, nah, hell with you, like, you ain't nothing, like, what? So he was just like, damn, these dudes are, like, what if it is true? What makes them so confident to speak to me like this, So that's what the elites are doing. They're like, damn, because at the same time, they're still like, okay, we want to kill him, but, that's why they have to surround him. They have to have the men of the Lord on 24-hour watch. We have to put, this is the left-hand side, like, damn, we have to put our top warlocks, our top witches, our top teams on them. Because look at what they're saying, They're literally out here surrounded with not even a baseball bat, not even a bulletproof vest. Nothing. Saying, bring it on. And that's worldwide. So that's why they're like, damn, well, like, all right, so right now, yeah, they're having their plans and stuff, their councils, but so that's why, because they're about to roll, because they're building cases. It's just what it is. But when they do roll, remember, it's going to be their mighty teams, like their top militias, their top super soldiers. Oh, yeah. So remember that. Daniel chapter 3, verse 21. Then these men were bound in their coats, their hosen, and their hats, and their other garments were cast into the midst of the burning fire furnace. Therefore, because the king's commandment was urgent, and the furnace exceeding hot, the flame of the fire slew those men that took up Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. So those soldiers, remember the mighty soldiers, the mightiest soldiers that that threw Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego in the burning fiery furnace, they got put to death, because that's how hot it was. And these three men, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, fell down bound into the midst of the burning fiery furnace. Then Nebuchadnezzar, this is the 24th verse. Then Nebuchadnezzar, king, was astonished and rose up in haste, like, oh snap, what the hell? Like, they're not even burning, like oh snap, hold up, and spake and said unto his counselors, did not we cast three men bound in the midst of the fire? They answered and said unto the king, true, O king. Verse 25, he answered and said, lo, I see 4 men loose, walking. So just walking around, just like dancing in the fire, like, heck yeah. Imagine walking in the midst of the fire. Remember those mighty soldiers, the mightiest of his soldiers got put to death. And they have no hurt. So he's saying, man, I see 4 men. So right here, let's stop right here. His men, his councils, that are right there with Nebuchadnezzar, they're gonna watch, Nebuchadnezzar, they're gonna watch Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, get put to death. They all stood up like, damn, So Nebuchadnezzar, everybody was shocked, like, wait a minute, what's going on? Like, is this a trick? What's going on? Didn't we throw 3 men in the fiery furnace? He goes, I see 4 people. Who's that 4th dude right there with him? And they're just walking around in the fire like nothing. Like, what's going on? So everybody like looked at each other like, That's how the left-hand side, that's what they do, because when they try to attack the ships, when they try to attack the men of the Lord, sometimes they get put to death. They don't come back. They don't go back home. Sometimes it doesn't even work. Yeah, because because the men of the Lord are bulletproof. You can't do nothing to them. Facts. And that's why they just go back like, oh snap, like we can't do nothing. Like we tried. Like, what do you mean you tried? That's why the dude's like, what do you mean? I told you put him to death. Did you put him to death? Like, nah, like we couldn't. Like, what do you mean? Like, what do you mean it didn't work? Like, nah. Like, that nigga's bulletproof. Like, what? Like, we talking like nah. Like, hey, palabra. Like, palabra? Hey, palabra. Like, damn. That means serious. That's like a street slang for, it's like a street slang, Yeah. So that's why they threw him in the fire, and, Nebuchadnezzar and the men were just looking at each other like they were astonished. Like, they had no answers. All they can do is look at each other like, what do we do now? See? Just like the left-hand side. They're like, damn, like we still want to roll, but what do we do? Like, so that's why they're having councils like, oh, what can we do? Like, damn. So that's why they look at each other like, damn, like, oh snap, Daniel chapter 3 verse 25. He answered and said, lo, I see 4 men loose, walking in the midst of the fire, and they have no hurt, nothing. They're just walking around like what's happening. And the form of the 4th is like the Son of the Most High. So who's in there with them? Yahweh Shai, who the world stubbornly calls Jesus Christ, because he's our Savior. Then Nebuchadnezzar came near to the mouth of the burning fiery furnace and spake and said, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, my nigga. Because he stood up and he was astonished, like, damn, like, you guys were right. You guys were telling the truth. So he stood up, and told them, like, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, my niggas. It's like, you guys were telling the truth. Like, damn, like, you weren't lying. Like, man, you ain't never lied. Ye servants of the Most High, come forth hither. Then Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego came forth of the midst of the fire. So Nebuchadnezzar stood up and said, like, come forth, come over here, like, damn, like, I'm impressed. Like, damn, like you weren't lying. Like, you were telling the truth, So he's like, come forth. Like, he was just astonished, like, impressed, like my goodness. Like, I can't believe it, but I saw it. Like, damn, it's true. It's true, because remember, the men of the Lord, they come in the spirit of truth. Yeah, they have slip-ups, they might not be perfect, but this word, this message is true, 100%. They're only bringing out the facts. Yep, so that's why people who are learning, they're like, damn, okay, like, yeah, they may be rough around the edges, they may not be, your cup of tea, but, they really are righteous, they really are telling the truth, Like, yeah, sometimes, they have slip-ups, stuff like that, like, yeah, who's perfect? But they really are telling the truth. Like, this message is truth. That's why the men of the Lord come in the spirit of what? Truth. See? Because it's literally from the Lord. It's not what we're guessing. It's not what we're assuming. Well, I feel that, it's talking about America, and I think it's talking about Russia. No, it's what it is, baby. It's not. Why do you think the men of the Lord are so confident? Why do you think they're the only ones laughing at the bankers, telling them, bring it on, Sally? You crouton. Daniel chapter 3 verse 27. We're going to go down to the 30th verse. And the princes, governors, and captains, and the king's counselors, see, so everybody, that's what the king was like, dang, being gathered together, saw these men upon whose the bodies of the fire had no power, nor was the hair of the head singed, neither were their coats changed, nor the smell of fire had passed on them. So they didn't even smell like fire. You know how, like, if you barbecue, you can smell, like oh, you can smell like, oh yeah, that person was barbecuing, because you can smell like their jacket, like, all right, I can smell the charcoal, I can, like, you kind of smell like a charter, you can kind of smell like that hickory smoke, like, or mesquite, you can kind of smell like the smoke, like, they were in the smoke and they didn't even smell like fire. Their hair wasn't burnt, imagine, nothing. They walked out completely perfect, so perfect that they didn't even smell like fire. Can you imagine the power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai? See? You know, that's why those of you clowns are like, oh, forget the Lord. It's like, you're in big trouble. That's why those of you that are going against the Lord, who sold out to the left-hand side, you're gonna be in a world of hurt. You know, it's not just talking crap. Like, you know, remember, like a boxing debut. You know how it's like. I use Canelo a lot because he's famous right now. He's known. You know, like let's say it's like Canelo and Mayweather. You know, like talking like, oh yeah, no, you're full of crap. No, you're full of crap. No, this ain't just like getting emotional. You know, like this is facts. Those of you that are of our people and you sold out to the left hand side, you are in trouble. It's not just, oh hey, look at, they're mad, they're getting emotional. No, you are emotional. This ain't just, you know, oh, we're just taking a guess and just talking crap about you because we're jealous of you. No, you are in trouble, man. You're freaking crazy, man. Freaking crazy, man. Daniel chapter 3, verse 28 down to the 30th verse. But remember, that's, you made that bed. You know, you made that choice. You know, you made your bed, go lay in it. Don't look at us, you know. You know, you can make fun of us all we want, but we're looking at you like, damn, you know. Because remember, you're not doing it unto us. You're doing it unto the Lord because we serve the Lord. So whatever you're doing to us, you're doing it directly to Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. So you're waging war with the Creator. And you're laughing at the men of the Lord who don't have nothing, but really you're laughing at the Lord. So Yahweh Shai is like, oh, you're going to war with me. The Lord says, I got you. So although you may think like, oh yeah, we're picking on them, we're giving the men of the Lord a hard time, or even the women, you know, because there's women and children that believe in the Lord. Although you're being, you know, like they're giving you a hard time, the Lord's saying, they're not doing it to you, they're doing it to me. So you're literally doing it directly to the Lord. So the Lord's like, all right, that's a declaration of war. So the angels are like, all right, you know, we're gonna get these dudes, all of them, you know, and you can't hide, you know, you can't hide. Facts. You know, so if you're really against the believers of the Lord, you know, the 144,000 or the men, women, and children that believe, it's it. You know, you're through. Daniel chapter 3, verse 28 down to the 30th verse. Then Nebuchadnezzar spake and said, Blessed be the power, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahshai of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, who has sent his angel, who was Yahweh Shai, and delivered his servants that trusted in him. See, it's all about that trust, baby. Which is what? It boils down to what? Faith. Because you got to have faith. Because without faith, it's impossible to please him. Because you got to have it. Remember, you ain't no pretender. You know, you can't act. You know, because you're only fooling yourself. You can't act like, all right, you know, I'm just going to act like I'm cool. That way, you know, the brothers and, you know, they think I'm all right. You know, nah. The Lord is seeing you, you know. That's, it's very, very dangerous. See? And have changed the king's word. Because yeah, by the prophets going out there, you know, speaking about prophecy and all that, these devils now on the left hand side, they have to move it. They're in desperation mode. They're on overdrive. They're like, damn, we gotta get this thing rolling. You know? Yes, you know, you guys are running out of time. You guys gotta get moving. That's why the Lord's saying, do whatever you gotta do. You need material, just ask. You know, make it up if you have to. At this point, you need to do whatever you need to do to get that NWO going. It's Mandals. You know, it's not just to be, oh, smart aleck. Oh, look at, we got a smart ass on our hands, you guys. Oh, look at, he's cute. You know, no, it's the Lord saying, at this point, because you're running out of time, you need to do whatever you need to do to get this thing going, to get this thing popping. You know, people talk in the world like, oh, hey, look, hey, pretty soon it's gonna pop off. It's gonna pop off. And have changed the king's word, and yielded their bodies, that they might not serve nor worship any god except their power. Right, so he says, all right, you guys got it, you know, but only you guys. He goes, all right, you guys don't want to worship my image? You guys proved it. You guys can go ahead and worship your power. Because they proved it, you know, like, yeah, our power is real. Therefore I make decree that every people, nation, and a language which speak any amiss against the power of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego shall be cut into pieces. So right there, Nebuchadnezzar, he told everybody, listen, because he was afraid, because he was amazed, he was impressed, but also he was scared, like, damn, like, their power is real. Like, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahshai is real. Like, he's real. You know, it's like, yeah. So he made a decree right there, like, all right, listen, Like everybody else, you guys still gotta worship my image. But if anybody talks crap about the of the power of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, I'm gonna put you down, because he was convinced that, damn, like, so ain't nobody, like, just leave them alone, because that's how nervous he was, like, because, like, damn, he's real. Shall be cut in pieces, and their houses shall be made a dunghill, because there is no other power that can deliver after this sort. Because, yeah, he goes, hey, there's nobody else who can do this. That's what the man of the Lord is saying. Where's Buddha at? Where's Allah at? Where's Jesus Christ at? Not talking crap, but where are your guys' God? Where were they in the first pandemic? People were dropping like flies out here. Where's that one God that you guys have, that, you guys worship with like 10 arms? See? Then this is the 30th verse. Then the king promoted Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego in the province of Babylon. See? Ancient Babylon, which is located over there in Iraq. Oh, absolutely. See that? So that's some, and that's what you have to reflect on. Because remember, the Lord says that the betrayals must happen. It must happen. So the men of the Lord, the women and children, they're going to get delivered up to concentration camps, black sites, governors, rulers. Just like what happened to Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, they got delivered up to the king Nebuchadnezzar. But this time, it's much bigger. Because it's not just Babylon; it's worldwide. So you're gonna be delivered up to prisons, jails, holding facilities, concentration camps. Because it's not just one king now. You got teams out there. You got what do you call that? Over there in Europe, you have bear with me. Oh, you got prime ministers. But they're part of the beast system. That's what Revelation chapter 17 is all about. Because they have power, like kings, but they're not a king. So what do they have over there in Europe and stuff? They have prime ministers, but they're just as powerful as a king, because they're in league with the beast system, facts. But they have a power like a king, because they have power to make moves, send out militaries just like a king, but they're not. They're prime ministers. That's you can get that in Revelation chapter 17, because remember, like that example, like you had that one example when the Lord said, you have to remember how the Lord said to the Pharaoh, he just sent Moses to the Pharaoh, and that's it. It was done. But now, why does the Lord have to send out the 144,000 across the four corners of the earth? Because now you have teams. You got CIA, KGB. You got MI6. Hey, MI6, what are you guys doing out here? Huh? You guys are supposed to be in Europe. You rascals. I know. You're just doing your job. Cheers, mate. You got, KGB, you have militaries, you got law enforcement, you got firefighters, you got countries, it's the whole world now, It's not like, that's why when the Lord told Moses, all he had to do was go tell Pharaoh, and it was done, because it was just that one little space right there. But now we're spread all throughout the four corners of the earth. So that's why the Lord has to do stuff, to reach to these teams, to reach to these governors, to say, let's roll on them. But you can't just tell one person, because there's teams now. See? So that's why the Lord, he'll give you guys material. He's telling you, make it up, because that's the only way. How, like now, like right now, it's not like back in the day when the Pharaoh said, okay, go do this. All right, so why is the Lord? A lot of you say, well, hey, we got a smart ass in our hands. We have a smart ass here. No, that's the Lord speaking, because now, like, let's say if the FBI, if they want to roll on somebody, how? They need paperwork. They need that paperwork. See? So that's why the Lord said, if you need to make it up, make it up. He's talking to the elites, not to you good agents. Because remember, there's good people and FBI and all that. There's good agents out there, absolutely. Okay? But the Lord's talking to them who really want to hurt the righteous. Okay? Remember, it's not to because remember, those you guys that are in those agencies, you're just doing your job, So, but this is why the Lord's doing that. Because remember, you can't just tell one person, like the Pharaoh, like Nebuchadnezzar. All he had to do is put the word out and it was done. Pharaoh, he had to tell the Pharaoh and it was done. Right here, there's teams, and we're not just in Australia, we're not just in Europe, we're not just in America, we're not just in Africa, we're spread out throughout the whole four corners of the earth. See, underneath different militaries, different countries, prime ministers, there's teams watching the men of the Lord. See? So the Lord has to give out material. He has to tell you, make it up if you have to. Why? Just so you can roll. Because you can't roll unless you have that paperwork, right? All right. There it is. Because that's the Lord telling you, like, it's time. It's time. It's time. It's time. See? So this is why the Lord is saying that. It's not just, oh, hey, look, we got a smart ass on our hands, We got a big bitch here, Oh, he's cute. Like, no, This is why. It's because the Lord has to do that, because this is the only way for you guys to roll. Right? Yeah. Because we're in a different time now. But the Lord's doing it, like the same way, but we're in a modern time now. Because you guys need what? Material, paperwork, in order to roll. Right? Like you need that warrant. There it is. See? Huh? Alright, so let's go back to the Apocrypha. And let's go back to the Apocrypha. The first, the Apocrypha, we're going to go to the first Maccabees. We're going to read chapter 2, verse 50 through 64. But before I go into that, this is why too, there's some people, who are cool with the men of the Lord, teams out there, and there's some who are like, hell no. For instance, like right now, like there's some teams, they're saying like, oh no, like, hey, like they're not tripping out, like they're not tripping out, they're just tired. The other half of the team will say no, like they're complete fucking bug outs, and then like let's say like there's a team, and they're like nah, like they're looking at the men of the Lord, like examining them, like nah, like hey, like they're just tired, they're just going through a hard time, and the other half, like they're arguing with each other, like the other half's like no, like no, like they're complete fucking bug outs, and then you have like they have these conversations within their teams, because some are like, hey, they're all right, the other half are like, hell no, So this is like the team's conversations, and then some of the teams will say, oh no, hey man, leave them alone, they're not evil, and then the other half will say, shoot the son of a bitch,